My mother and mother-in-law won't stop interfering with my wedding. I might call the whole thing off.
There's just too many mothers to be having this wedding.
I might just call the cops.
Call the cops on both of your moms.
Yes. My fiance, 23 male, and I, 26 female, will have been together for 4 years in spring, and he proposed in July of this year. By the way, this comes from Confused Boop 98 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So we were really excited to plan our wedding and make it everything we want it to be. So we decided to have a longer engagement to give us time to enjoy it and have some time to save up money because weddings are expensive.
Yes.
Say it again.
They don't have to be, but
That's true.
sometimes.
They can be. For context, my fiance and I are average middle class. We don't make a bunch of money, but we budget and save to make sure we can live comfortably while still affording to just exist. I'm also working on completing my psychology degree. My mom and stepdad make very, very good money, like 6-figure incomes each, but are extremely stingy. Our wedding is booked for spring 2026, and we have booked our venue, photographer, a DJ, flowers, and have our bridal party and attire selected. I appreciate your laughs. But we have been struggling to find a caterer that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. So we found a restaurant that can cater our wedding for less than half the cost of an event caterer, and we know we will be very happy with it because we enjoy the restaurant food. Low key seems like a great hack. Event caterers will obviously charge at the wazoo. Ask some restaurants, hey, would you be down to just like cook a big meal and cater?
Yeah.
Kind of a W idea.
Ask the restaurant, would you be willing to have me pay you to make food?
Will you do it for me?
They're like, I'm actually pretty familiar with that process now that you mention it. I think I might. Yeah.
Good idea.
Let's hammer out the details.
The only downside is there won't be any wait staff. Our guest list is 120 people. There you go. And all of that is family with a handful of friends. My fiance and I have spoken to a lot of people invited / in the wedding, and they're all supportive of our decision for catering and think it's reasonable to place trash cans around the perimeter of the venue so people can dispose of their trash, plates, cups, etc. We have to clean up after ourselves, oh no, at the end of the night anyways as part of the venue agreement. Here's where the drama ensues. Here's where the real tea is getting spilt. I spoke to my mom about this decision because she has offered to help us pay for some of the wedding. I was so excited that I found a good alternative to an expensive caterer with good food and told her this. She proceeded to belittle and tear down every decision I have made about the wedding thus far. The colors, the date, the bridal party, the vendors, the fact that we planned so far out.
We nitpicking that you planned?
How dare you?
How dare you plan ahead?
Hey, it's too far ahead. I don't know what I'm doing in spring of 2026. I know what I'm doing next month. That's it. Stop it.
I'm in today and tomorrow only.
Stop it. Literally anything she could nitpick, all because she didn't like that there wouldn't be wait staff. She told me verbatim, I will be cleaning all night and won't be able to enjoy myself. I am the host of the wedding, so I will look bad if there are dirty plates and empty cups everywhere. I'll pay for the dang catering if you're so cheap. Most catering for a wedding our size is around $3,500 to $5,000, $2,000 on the cheaper end, and that is over half of what we paid for the venue. We simply cannot afford that. Anyway, I listed out all the pros and cons for our restaurant catering plan to my mom, and it still wasn't enough for her. Pros: cheaper price for a larger quantity of food compared to event caterers, guaranteed good food that many people enjoy, and full buffet set up by the restaurant. By the way, they said $2,000 was like the cheapest estimate to feed 120 people. Is that not like kind of a crazy deal? Like,
Well, I think that's
Are you doing
probably...
2,000 divided by...
I don't think you can get that for that many people.
$16 a plate. I mean,
Oh, wait. Actually, never mind. Yeah, you can.
That's really good.
Well, it's $16 a plate, and then you factor in all the other costs.
unless you want to go to
food.
freaking Chipotle catering. Guaranteed good food that people will enjoy and full buffet set up by the restaurant. Cons: no wait staff, meaning we clean up after ourselves. She was adamant that she wouldn't be the wait staff for the night because she can't stand a mess, and it would be a mess because people are inconsiderate, and she would be miserable all night long.
Dang, can you imagine being so miserable that just like other people's messes in a space that doesn't belong to you like makes you upset?
Yeah, it sounds like it's less about you having to clean up this mess and more about you are just so worried about people thinking you're the greatest ever that you being wait staff cleaning other people's dirty dishes.
That's what it feels like. She's like, I need wait staff to judge and yell at.
Excuse me, plate boy, here's plates.
It helps.
Get it out of my sight.
I'm not gonna lie, it helps so much that you're wearing a suit. It just makes it so much better.
I look like both the waiter and the like obnoxious rich person.
Look at this suit I'm wearing. You see the suit I'm wearing compared to the suit you're wearing, Mr. Waiter Man? That's all I have to say.
We're
about that.
both penguins.
Hey, I am the penguin of this city. and there's only room for one of us.
True.
I haven't watched that show.
You're pretty spot on.
You got him.
Got it.
Dakota the Impressionist Pain. Bringing the pain. So, she then proceeded to compare my wedding that hasn't happened yet to hers and my sister's. Both had very nice weddings, but much larger budgets than my fiance and I have. She also tore apart the way I've cheaped out on vendors in order to save money. Disgusting. I have literal spreadsheets of research on vendors I have spoken to because we are balling on a budget.
Yeah, why would you ever disparage that?
Dude, come on. She's being a responsible adult and doing the best she can. So at this point, she has had me on the phone for 45 minutes talking down at me, and I am fully zoned out. I forgot to add that she was on speakerphone while my fiance was sitting with me, so he heard everything. At one point, he said, "This is our wedding, and we are choosing things based on what we want. She," meaning me, "works all day and then spends all evening researching and contacting vendors. You aren't saying anything she doesn't already know, so stop talking to her like she doesn't know what she's talking about." To say that to the mother-in-law, not your mother, take some of these.
Well, it takes a lot of yapping on the other side too.
Yeah, to get to that point.
To get to the point
where
of
you're
just
like,
be gone from me.
She realized that I was completely done with the conversation, and she ended it by saying, "If I have to pay for it so I don't have to be a server for a night, I will. But we'll talk another time."
I'd be like, all right,
Sure.
no, you just talked all the talk you needed to talk. Well, go ahead and pay for it.
I'd be like 10 grand.
Go ahead. Notice how you didn't say anything about me paying you back, but go ahead and pay for it.
Yeah, that's right. This alone has been stressing me and making me second guess all my decisions. Oh no, but I also have a mother-in-law that is stressing me out as well. My mother-in-law is very excited for our wedding and is being very helpful most of the time. She is collecting decorations and offering so much help to DIY with me, and I greatly appreciate it. We recently got some engagement pictures taken, and I shared a few on Facebook. My mother-in-law commented on one of the joke photos saying, "This would make a cute save the date." The photo is my fiance and I sharing a kiss, and I am flipping off the camera.
Nice.
Got him.
Hey, nice.
What are we in high school?
Hey, nah, that's a classic.
Classic.
That's the classic move.
Classic move.
Yeah.
With my ring finger showing the ring off. That's kind of fire.
All right, there you go. That's
I
a little
respect
bit.
that. I respect that. I liked the comment and said it would be very funny. 2 weeks later, mother-in-law texted me that she had made magnets out of that photo, and she wrote "save the date and our wedding date" on them and sent them out to some of my fiance's family.
Wait, nah. Why are you making mischievous schemes?
Hmm.
You know better than that's not a photo that goes on that.
And also, she put it on magnets. This is interesting. I was gobsmacked, and it took me a good while to respond, "OP, I don't blame you." But I asked her to send me a picture of the magnets, a list of who she sent them to, and how many she made. The magnet is very cheap. And pixelated the photo, and she wrote "save the date" and the date in Sharpie on it. Whatever you're imagining is probably better than how it turned out. I was pissed, to say the least. She also sent the magnets to my fiance's out-of-state family, some of which were not on the guest list.
It's so easy to not do the worst thing you could do.
It's just, you just don't do it.
Just don't
That's
do
it.
that thing.
That's it. Save your time. Go for a walk. Drink some tea. I don't know. Watch your favorite show.
Like, would you
Okay,
invite
Showtime.
random people to someone else's birthday?
With a pixelated flipping off magnet?
Don't invite them to a wedding.
My fiance was also upset with her because she didn't talk to us about this and contacted her about it. Her response was, "Well, I commented about it on Facebook." Like, that was a logical reason to do that. He then went to their house and took the remaining magnets that she had.
So somebody gets it.
Yeah, right. Another few weeks went by without incident, besides some small conversations where she offered to help on something that we never discussed and didn't want to do. She got passive aggressive when we told her that her ideas weren't part of the plan, but last week she decided to post a save the date magnet she made on Facebook without asking us. My fiance doesn't get on Facebook, and I did not see it until 8 hours after it was posted, so I immediately texted her asking her to take down the post because we don't want our wedding information shared without our consent, and we don't want people seeing that and expecting an invitation when they're not invited. Her response was, "No one will see it but my Facebook friends."
Oh, you mean you're like your Facebook friends who aren't invited?
Yeah, all 800 of them.
You fool.
So I said, okay, I still don't want things about our wedding posted unless my fiance and I are posting about it. I got no response, but the post was removed. These are just the big things that have come up in the planning process that have caused me unnecessary stress. My sister and fiance have been my only saving grace these last few months because they know the crazy I'm dealing with. My fiance and I have made jokes about going and getting eloped with my sister, brother-in-law, and nephew as a witness. By the way, you can witness full episodes with stories just like the one we're reading right now on our podcast. Just go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, any of your favorite podcast apps, and just search OK Storytime. It's gonna be there.
That's a clear plan to me.
I have to ask you this question very quickly, and just fair warning, this is the nuclear option.
As quick as you can now.
Do we uninvite both moms from the wedding?
Oof. I think, did they have positions? Were they like any
Not that we know of, so we're
honors?
gonna say no.
No. I would say at the very least, take them off any positions where they're like making decisions or yeah, it's just like at
Having
this point you're,
repetitions.
well, yeah, I mean, I guess they're not. You definitely send the one who's like sending the invitations to everyone. You know what?
Don't
Yeah.
invite both or
Don't invite either of them. At this point,
At this point,
this is what matters.
yeah,
Oh,
What is going to make your wedding day as good as possible for you?
it's true.
And if you're both of your mom and your mom-in-law are stinking it up, I don't know.
I won't say for sure. He's making a good point, Keon.
I don't
think-
know.
Except
I think he's making a good point, and I think that I don't think that they should, because at this point they would have to uninvite them because they're both already invited, which is even harder and more nuclear. But I think they should just sit down and just her and her fiance and just have a open brainstorming session. No wrong ideas. What do we want to make our wedding as fun and enjoyable as possible? I'm not going to advise them to do that, but maybe talk about it.
I think get rid of the one mom.
Which one?
The one who's like, I
Magnet
need
mom?
waiters, and
Oh, yeah.
get
She
rid
sucks
of
the
that
worst.
one.
At least the other one was helpful in other areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one, OP's mom just purely sucks. Okay, fair enough. Well,
She can watch the playback.
there we go. The highlight
She
reel.
can live stream it.
But OP continues. But we are now starting to genuinely consider it as in having just like 3 or 4 people at their wedding and elope because of all the unwanted opinions and actions from my mom and mother-in-law. I am very strong-willed and independent, and I have no problem telling them to knock this crap off. But family is important to my fiance and we don't want to cause problems. We also value our happiness and the dream of our wedding more than pleasing them. That is the way to say it. We are both just fed up at this point and don't know how to continue planning peacefully unless we just don't tell them any information. Help. No ear 98.99 says, oh geez, such drama and entitlement from mom and mother-in-law. I can absolutely sympathize with your idea of eloping, and a large of me
A large.
says, go for it.
Yeah.
Eloping will have consequences afterwards. Your mom will likely call you classless and cheap. Mother-in-law may not forgive you at all because she's so excited and involved. The only deterrent I can see that might work is to uninvite them both. Hey, we threw that out there. I am sure you understand that will mean more drama. Do not waver. Keep those boundaries well defined. These 2 old girls need to understand the meaning of the word. Good luck, OP.
Yeah, true. I
And
mean,
that's it.
I feel like it might be like, well, think of all the drama it'll cause down the line, but that'll just be like the mom not letting go of like, oh, remember when you had your wedding without me? It's like, yeah, remember why we decided to do that?
Yeah.
Because somebody's behavior was a little unbecoming.
Like, where's the point where we actually, if we don't stand up for our boundaries and what we want at our wedding, what do?
You flip it back on the mom. If the mom's like, wah, I'd be like, okay, would you have let me do that at your wedding? Would you have let me come into your wedding and tell you what I wanted? Like it was the law?
I like that.
And they would say no. And then you go, and that's why you weren't at mine.
I
Because
like
that's what
that.
you were doing.
I like that. And I don't like to share that this is the end.